So, I think it's fair enough to say that I've received a good amount of political criticism over the past few years.
Hello, Eric Tube 101. I am Sir Nun from the Pseudo Army.
What's up, Eric? So, let's talk a little bit. For one, you might need to start working on those videos that you make, because you're pretty fucking stupid. Just gonna throw that out there.
Eric Tube 101. Think you're all hot shit? Sweetheart, you're not. You're a bully.
This video is for Eric Tube 101, or whatever the fuck your name is. I don't fucking feel good. Here I am, giving you fucking attention.
I hope you guys enjoyed those videos. But in today's video, we're going to be going over the political groups who I view the most idiotic. Now, guys, before you say anything, yes, this could be controversial, but just keep in mind that I am going after multiple different groups from multiple different parties, and that I might make a part 2, so if you feel like I'm attacking you personally, I'm attacking many other people, and you can attack me if you want in the comments. I mean, I'd prefer you not to, but don't take this video too seriously is what I'm trying to say. But without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first political group that I just find absolutely annoying and ridiculous is the anarchist. See, the problem with anarchist in 2019 is that they're not your typical libertarians, oh, get the government out of my home type of people anymore. They're just, you know, teenagers and young adults who spray the cool circle with an A on their forehead, call themselves anarchists for whatever reason, even though they're Bernie Sanders supporters. You cannot be an anarchist and a Bernie Sanders supporter. That doesn't make any sense. You can't believe in the abolishment of government and also believe in democratic socialism, to where they're going to be taking 70% of your taxes for big government, where they're going to make school even more government founded, and then they're going to make healthcare government. They're going to make everything big government. And you're saying you're for that even though you're an anarchist? Bro, like, you can't be an anarchist libertarian type of person and also be a Bernie Sanders supporter. That's my problem with anarchists right there. Now, you can be an anarchist, you can be a Bernie Sanders supporter, but you can't be both by definition. You cannot be a socialist supporting anarchist. That just does not make sense at all. You can't say that you're for no government, saying get the government out of my house, but then you're going to go to the voting booth and vote for a socialist? Like, I don't understand what you're getting at, buddy. It just doesn't make any sense to me, you know what I'm saying? But moving on into the second political group that we have today is the people who fly the Confederate flag and blah blah blah, my freedom of speech, my freedom of representation and whatever, which is fine. It's your heritage, alright? So, the Confederates were people who lost the Civil War. They were trying to split up from America. They were trying to split from the United States. So, if the Confederates would have won, they would have had their own country. They would have not been attached to the United States. They would have had their own constitution, their own laws, etc. Now, a lot of people say that the Civil War was just on slavery. The people that fly the Confederate flag will say that it's not racist, it's not based on slavery. The Civil War was kind of based on slavery, but it wasn't just that. Slavery was already on its way out to begin with. But it was part of the Civil War. But mainly the South was just fighting so they could get away from the United States and have their own constitution and stuff. So you're flying the flag of a country that does not exist. The country of the Confederates never existed. It has no history. The country of the Confederates never existed. They lost their war for independence. Now, the United States flag is a flag with a history behind it. The the United States flag won its independence, the Confederate flag did not win independence. You guys lost the war. Why are you still flying the flag? I mean, sure, you're from the places that fought for it a couple hundred years ago, you know, but here's the thing. Germans don't fly the swastika because it has a bad history behind it. I've never known of a German that's proud to fly the swastika because of their heritage. Oh, it was the Germans, so I'm going to fly it. No, you don't actually care about it being a southern flag, right? If the Confederate flag was a northern flag, everybody would still fly it. Matter of fact, there's plenty of people from the north that fly the Confederate flag, which makes absolutely no sense. Like, the Confederate ancestors wanted to kill your ancestors, and you're flying their flag today, even though your ancestors beat them in a war, considering you guys didn't move. And if you're from the north and your ancestors were from the south, and you know that somehow, you still lost the war, so it doesn't make any sense. And here's the thing. Even if it wasn't used for slavery, it's still used for racial things today. The Ku Klux Klan used the Confederate flag, so that enough should tell you that it's not a good flag. When it has ties to slavery, it has ties to the Civil War, the losing side of the Civil War, it has ties to the Ku Klux Klan, it has direct ties to racism, it has no good history behind it, and then you still have these people that are like, oh, my heritage! Dude, your heritage is not under attack. Your heritage is you're an American. You are in the United States of America. You are not in the United States of the Confederacy. Why? Because the Confederates and the Confederate flag army, the army that protected that flag, lost their war for independence. That flag means nothing. Your heritage was from the South. You are still an American. Just fly the American flag. The Confederate flag literally means nothing because they lost the war and it has direct ties to racism. What is the point of still flying it? I just will never understand the point of flying the rebel flag or the Confederate flag, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you're just using it to look cool, whatever. If you're using racism and the Ku Klux Klan to look cool, that's on you, but just the my heritage argument just doesn't make sense to me. So coming in at number 3, we have the sexualities and genders that come after the Q and LGBTQ+. So, you guys always known that LGBTQ+, there's a plus after it, that means that there must be stuff after it. You guys want to know the full letters of LGBT? So you got your lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgenders, transsexuals, and queers. I think everybody's fine with those. But then you have questioning. What are you questioning? Whether you like a penis or titties in your mouth? Like, you figured after your first few trials, you're not questioning anymore, right? Questioning your gender, you know, just go pee a few times. And if you're happy with what you're seeing when you go pee, then you're not questioning anymore. You know what I'm saying? Intersex, I don't know what that means. Asexual, I'm pretty sure that means that does mean that you don't have sex, right? Which is fine. Just be a virgin, you know? You didn't have to be a special minority to not like sex back in the day, you know? You didn't have to tell anybody that you don't like having sex. You just didn't have a girlfriend, and then people might call you a virgin behind your back to try to make fun of you, but does it really matter? No, you're not a minority. You're never going to be followed around because the cops secretly know somehow that you've never had sex and that you're a weirdo. Nobody thinks that you're a weirdo for being a virgin. I mean, a few people might care, but those people are probably losers and have really deep ego problems with themselves, and I wouldn't worry about those people. Allies. You can be an ally to something without claiming that you're an ally. You can support things without claiming that you support it. Everybody supports kids with cancer. Everybody thinks that we should be giving Africa water. Everybody thinks that we should be giving water to Flint and fixing the Flint water crisis. You don't have to shout that you're an ally to those things. You know, a lot of people are an ally to LGBT, but when you call yourself an ally and want to be in their group, then you're just the white guy wanting to be a minority at that point. Because why do you need to publicly state that you're an ally and that you're in the group because you're an ally? Just because you're an ally to anything doesn't mean you're in the group. You could support gaming and support gamers, and I don't think that we're bad people out to shoot up our schools and everything, but it doesn't mean that you're a gamer yourself. That just doesn't make any sense. And then pansexual. Pansexuals are just bisexuals. I did a video on this in the past. I think I deleted it because I deleted every video that was more than a year old. But basically, pansexuals are just the same thing as bisexuals, because pansexuals, you date all the genders. Bisexuals, you date two genders. But there's only two genders, so two genders is all the genders, leaving pansexuals and bisexuals to be the same thing. And that's why pansexuals are idiotic. They just want to be more of a minority than bisexuals already are. They want to be treated like a minority. Bisexuals are pretty well accepted in today's culture, especially female bisexuals. Now, male bisexuals aren't treated as well as female bisexuals, which sucks, but you're not a pansexual, you're a bisexual. I've never known anybody above the age of 14 to call themselves a pansexual. Like, I've never met anybody in their 20s that thinks that they're pan. They all just say bi because they realize that there's only two genders. But that's about all for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit that thumbs up, and, you know, let me know what you guys want to see in the future down in the comments down below, and subscribe. Peace.